Everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts, Jen T. Maxey.
Hello.
And Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
How you doing, Terry?
I'm okay. I mean, the predictable answer still holds true, but I'm mostly okay.
Good deal. How you doing, Jen?
I'm okay. Like, it's good to take a break from what the stress of the day was about to talk about other things.
Yeah, we kind of got on the gun debate there for a while, didn't we?
No, it was fun. It's good to do something different.
It's something that there's a couple of favorite subjects for me: abortion, guns, Constitution. You know, all the American things.
Yeah.
Well, abortion's not really American, but it seems to be most controversial here because we can't figure out a compromise. You know, there's people who like, let's have abortion up to 9 months, and there's people who are, let's not have any abortion at all. You know, it's very polarized here. Where in the UK, just about all the countries in the UK are about 15 weeks. There's a couple that are 24.
I think the Simpsons had the right answer. Abortions for some, miniature American flags for others.
Well, I love having the debate, regardless of who I'm talking to. Even for people who are on my side, I still like discussing it because I always think I might learn something from the discussion. So I think I'm pretty bulletproof. I think if you were to have a discussion from the pro-choice side, I think it'd be pretty hard to beat me. I don't know.
I think it would be just generally hard to defend in general the pro-choice side of things.
Well, they want to do moral worth. That's usually where they go. When you say life begins at conception, they say, yeah, but there's no moral worth at conception. That's usually the gear change that they make. And my reply is, I don't care. I'm not concerned about the morality of it. I'm concerned about the legality of it. Legally, this is where it's at. So I win, you lose.
Yeah. But also, morals are subjective. It's like, just because you think there's no moral worth in an unborn baby doesn't mean
that's why they make the argument.
Yeah, it's like, well, you can't have laws based on something that's subjective. It's not something that the people agree on. Then you can't really have a law about it.
Yeah, it's like, well, some murder is okay. It depends on how I feel today. If I feel one way today, murder's all right. Tomorrow, murder might be bad again. Who knows? You can't have a society with that.
No. You need consistent laws. Otherwise, society doesn't know how to function.
I guess we should get right to it. I don't want to do the entire show on this, but I do want to do at least half of the night talking about this because it's a pretty big impact. For those who don't already know, which I can't imagine there's anybody out there because you guys are all pretty smart. Charlie Kirk, 31 years old, husband and father of 2 young girls, was assassinated at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. He was shot in the neck, which hit his carotid artery. He died almost instantly. Originally, they found a person of interest who was not the shooter. They released him, and now they have a suspect in custody. The suspect is supposed to be the actual shooter.
Hopefully they got the guy. That's terrible what happened to him, to Charlie.
The odd thing is he was talking about guns and shooters when this happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
A lot of people have said, well, they were going to try to shoot him in the head, and they missed him in the neck. No, they hit him directly in the carotid artery. They were aiming right for it. You can hit somebody in the head, and at the right angle, it might shatter the skull, but still leave somebody useful.
Yeah.
You hit somebody in the carotid artery, it's over. There's nothing you can do.
Obviously, yeah.
You can't even get from where you're sitting to where he is, which could be 3 feet away, and save him. You're done.
And Fairy Bastard in chat says Charlie Kirk should have lived long enough to see his great grandchildren. I mean, at the very least, his grandkids. I mean, I don't know how old his grandkids would have to be before they started having kids, but no, I mean, he shouldn't have been murdered. I think is a safe statement. I like saying he should have lived to see his great grandkids. I don't know. That's kind of iffy, but just generally, he should not have been murdered at 31 or however old he was.
Yeah, 31.
For holding an opinion that apparently another group of people just can't seem to handle.
And I can see people having problems with people that are annoying or aggressive or condescending, who are debaters, and I can see going after them for those attributes. But Charlie was pretty much an angel. He never really went after people in that method. Even if people came after him, he would just say, well, I disagree, and put the microphone down.
Yeah. No, he laughed at it half the time. If your insult was good enough, he'd laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said, you're not really 6'5", and he stood up and he showed him that he was 6'5", and everyone kind of laughed.
Yeah. No, I did see one video where he was talking about, I think it was gun control, and he was like very willing to acknowledge when the other guy had a point. He said, like, that's a fair point, I just disagree with you. He was not like insulting or combative. He was just like, no, that is a fair point, I just don't agree with you. And I think, how much more reasonable can you get in terms of political discussion?
There are a lot of people that were a lot more savage than he was. You never really saw videos saying, I mean, maybe for clicks, but not really any videos where he owned a lib or you know, anything along that. You didn't see the Eagle Double D music playing in the background. You know.
Yeah, no, I think if like you could not have picked a more sort of benign political like speaker. Like even Ben Shapiro was like more aggressive than this guy. He's like, he was very, very reasonable, very, very mild mannered, and you know, he's just like a decent guy. He's just like,
yeah. I think that's what hurts the most, is that he was pretty innocent.
Yeah,
you know, he was just he's a man of faith. You know, he's whenever you hear him get into debates, somewhere along the line, he's going to bring God into it. I disagreed with him for doing that, but I admired him for doing that. Somebody who is that strong with their faith, and that may be a saving grace here. You know, he's not going to hell. You know, he's not. So even though he's not with us anymore, I'm sure he's in a much better place. And I don't really try to get into religion too much. I try to avoid it. I mean, I'm a Catholic though, so it's built into me to some extent.
Yeah, I'm an atheist. So I don't believe in heaven and hell and all that. But I mean, if such places exist, I find it extremely unlikely that Charlie Kirk would have been sent to hell.
Yeah.
Based on my limited understanding of Christian doctrine, I can't imagine that Charlie Kirk would go to hell.
He was an all-around good guy. I mean, there's never any kind of accusation against him for doing anything wrong. You know, everyone just disagreed with his debates, but nobody ever said, "Oh, well, he raped this person, or he shot this person, or
like
he's a drug addict, or you know, he's doing weird things to his kids." No one said anything like that because there was no
one would believe it. Like if you said that about him, no one would believe it. It's like, but Charlie Kirk, you're thinking of the right guy? Are you sure you're not thinking of someone else?
Well, there was a time where no one would believe that for Bill Cosby either, but that turned out different. But
I guess.
I don't see any. I don't know. We kind of lost the star for the conservative side. You know, it's not, you know, I could see other people who are on the conservative side that if they got shot, it wouldn't hurt as much.
Hmm.
You know, like there's a certain conservative pundit who is actually very short and wears a little yarmulke, who's got into some pretty wild debates. And I could see somebody having animosity. Yeah, Blue-Eyed Scream got who I'm talking about. And I can see someone having animosity and being angry with that person and taking it on him. But it's, how can you be angry with Charlie when he was just saying what his opinion was? He wasn't trying to browbeat anybody. He wasn't being aggressive. He wasn't putting you down.
No.
I mean, Crowder was ruder to them. Like, if he thought they were retarded,
God, yes.
he basically told them he thought he was retarded.
Yeah.
Not once did I but yeah.
And if they'll go after Charlie, who's pretty much an innocent, then these other people better be careful. Because now it's on. You know, if they'll go after him. I mean, I can understand going after the president. There's a certain amount of you went after the president. It happened to be Trump, but you went after the president. So there's two things there. You know, going after Trump is one thing. Going after whoever the current president is also another thing. But Charlie's just a pundit. Like any other pundit, he's common. You know? So, I mean, he's a celebrity, but he's common in his perspective. A lot of people think the same way he does. Crowder is an abuser. Crowder is, I'm
from
6 of one and half a dozen of the other with Crowder.
I mean, from what I've discerned, the only evidence of him being an abuser was the camera showing like deliberately edited, well, not like edited, but like cropped video of him getting mad at his wife.
People say things that they don't mean when they get mad at each other. I think that was a setup, but
yeah, exactly.
My opinion wouldn't. I mean, you have to look at people like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and you got to think to yourself, is that a setup? Because Amber Heard really set him up. You know, no one will believe you. Remember Amber Heard saying that? When Johnny Depp, when she accused him of all these things, she says, you say what you want. No one's going to believe you. Women know that. Women know that no one's going to believe them.
Yeah.
So all you need is a 3-minute video where he says, you could have gone and wore gloves to do the dog. And it sounds horrible. Well, I mean, it doesn't even sound horrible. It sounds insensitive.
Yeah.
But that's enough. That's enough. Now you're a bad guy. So, was he wrong? No. He was just insensitive. Yeah, she was pregnant and she was afraid that the medication, if she got it on her hands, would affect her pregnancy. And he said, well, you could have wore gloves. Is he wrong? Yeah. No. Is he insensitive? Absolutely. Is he evil?
That's why I kind of think that's why I think most of Crowder's problems are probably more he's narcissistic. You know, there are people on our side that are narcissistic. It's something that you have to I don't like narcissists. I admit that I bite my tongue when I'm like, well, you're on our side, I don't like you, but it's just how it is. I'm not excusing his behavior either, because
outdoor venues will no longer be a thing. I would have believed that after Trump, but I think what they'll do is put up bulletproof glass and still do it outside.
That would be at least the bare minimum they could do. Yeah. Wheezy Nick Blunt Blowin, which is a hell of a name. I kind of think Crowder is retarded. I mean, I've never been a fan of him, but I don't think he's retarded. He seems fairly intelligent.
He did a thing on stage where he went after somebody, where he had him, and it was Milo, and
Christina Hoff
Summers, and one other person. And the person said, why is there a bunch of white people up there? And he says, he got pissed. And he's walking back and forth across the stage, yelling at this guy, saying, there is diversity. It's just not diversity of skin tone, you racist bastard. He says, you have a woman who's on the left, you have a man who's gay, and you have me, and you have the other person. I forget what their deal was. He says, we're 4 completely different people. The only thing that's not different about us is our skin color. What the fuck's wrong with you, you racist shit?
Yeah.
And he was pissed. And he was very clearly well spoken when he went after the guy.
Yeah. No, I saw that, and that's what made me check out Steven Crowder's show to begin with. And then once I watched it, I kind of just didn't like it. I thought he had one good moment when on that stage, but in general, I was not a fan of his work.
Yeah. Well, the truth is over time you do start to notice that his co-workers are oftentimes more funny than he is, and when they go, it's noticeable.
Yeah, and he's kind of the bro show, It's just it's like me and my friends are going to talk about stuff. It's like this show. Me and my friends are just talking about stuff. I'm sorry, but if you're going to be a huge celebrity, you have to come up with something better than that. I'm not looking to be a celebrity, and neither are either of you. Well, maybe Jen. Jen, you want to be a celebrity?
No. They're from Creepy Woods. Good.
I'd much rather entertain the audience just talking about things that they want to talk about and interacting with them. That's much better than being the bro show where we're just back and forth yucking it up with each other. I don't like that.
No,
I don't watch any podcasts that are like that.
No, and generally, if I'm not on the stream, I won't watch it. The only exception would be V, and I don't even watch him live because he streams while I'm asleep. But I do watch the replays of V's stream.
Ross to say Crowder was better back in the Not Gay Jared days, and that's because of Not Gay Jared.
Probably.
Because it seemed to taper off a bit after he left, especially the way he left, because Crowder tried to fuck him over. At least that's what Jared said. So.
And Frosted says Crowder would be more watchable if he didn't try to be funny all the time. Probably, yeah.
Yeah. You could do much better as a celebrity with being poignant than you can about being concentrating on entertainment. If you can say things that are very pointed and resolute and clear and make common sense, like there's I don't know if he's a congressman or a representative. His name is Freitas, Freitas. Can't remember his first name.
I know who
Nick.
You mean.
I think his first name is Nick.
It is.
But he looks like a linebacker, and he makes TikToks that are and Instagrams that are funny. But did you see what he said today? He wasn't being funny today.
I didn't see it.
He was pissed and upset. Like, I wouldn't say he was on the verge of tears, but his voice wasn't solid either.
Okay.
He was very upset, and I don't think I've ever seen him like that. And I find that to be a very cool thing, that a man with that kind of build, who has children of his own and a wife of his own, and makes a lot of common sense, is not scared to show how he feels.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of courage in showing vulnerability like that.
You have to be a really, really masculine person to be so unafraid of retribution from showing your emotion.
Yeah.
Definitely. You're like, I don't care. My masculinity protects me from whatever retribution or retaliation I would get back, because this is more important than that. And it's common sense. It makes sense. It's very clear. So
says that Nick is a retired Green Beret and a Virginia State delegate.
There you go. I see his TikToks about him and his wife and his kids from time to time. It's pretty funny. He does the meme. He does the talking about his wife and stuff like that, and then he stops and takes a sip out of a coffee mug. He does that meme, and it's funny. He's so no nonsense, so solid, but he's highly sarcastic.
Yeah.
So he'll say something that's like, completely sarcastic, and it's hilarious. And he'll just look at the camera and take a sip of his coffee, and that'll be it. It's kind of like, I don't know. It kind of makes it even funnier if he's not trying to hit a punchline,
Yeah.
So
I can't remember. I don't think I've ever watched him directly, but I think one of the people I watch on YouTube did like a response to one of his videos, so I do know who you're talking about, but I've never like watched his content.
PreAmp says, you mean he's human? Yeah, see, it's easy from a female perspective to say that he's human, but from the male perspective, it's very difficult for men to show their emotions. Most men are very stolid, very conserved, and they don't really show their emotions. And it's not because we've been programmed to. It's kind of how we're built.
Yeah.
We're all pretty much like that. But having courage, not a lot of men have the courage to do that. They want to do it from time to time. I mean, I couldn't tell you, well, actually I could tell you the last time I cried. Last time I cried was when they buried my mom.
Yeah.
There are certain times where you just don't give a fuck what anybody thinks, and you're going to be who you want to be. And at that time, I hurt, and I was going to let it out. And that's just the way it's going to happen. And you'll find that most men are like me.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I also consider myself not afraid to show my emotions if I have to. Yeah. And you're right, unless it's anger. Men have no problem showing anger. Because I think it's in us to do that. There's a lot of things that are in us to do. I like to watch these videos of car accidents, where it's just like fender benders and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you listen to each one, and I've listened to thousands of them. I mean, I really enjoy this whole genre of videos. A woman gets into an accident, and 9 times out of 10, it's, oh my God, oh my God, what happened? Yeah. And the guy sitting next to her turns to her in a calm, stolid voice. Are you okay?
Yeah, exactly.
If that doesn't outline the differences between men and women clearly, I can't imagine what wouldn't.
Yeah, and like the last time I cried was about 6 months after my dad died, because I, for whatever reason, wasn't able to really cry when it happened, but then about 6 months later, it all just hit me, and like, I just broke down and cried.
That's common.
And that was what, 10 years ago, 2017, so almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's the last time I cried.
It really depends on the meaning of the person that you're dealing with. Someone, if you're close to them, if you're really close to somebody, then it's almost impossible not to.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. I was not close to my dad in any way, shape, or form. My dad, I hate to say it, my dad was a bastard. Once he came out of the military, the military changed him, and he was a bad, bad guy. He died. Oh, well, he's dead.
Yeah.
Off to the next thing. What are we having for dinner tonight? You know, it's no big deal.
I did not feel even slightly bad when my grandfather on my dad's side, when he died. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't feel any sort of sadness or anything. It's just like, no, I mean, he's dead now. Okay.
Women are just more, significantly more empathic. And even people they don't know die. There are people out there who don't even know Charlie Kirk, who are women. Who
I cried.
There you go.
Oh, I did. Oh, I sure did. Like, I'm trying not to dwell on it. Like, yeah, like, he did it in front of his daughter. He did.
We're not really helping you, are we?
We're
kind of dwelling on it, aren't we?
No. Yes and no, because there's frustration with a lot of this, because I can't do anything. I absolutely can't. So at least talking about it is getting some of the frustration out. But like, what I saw just had me so flipping mad that, in all honesty, if a leftist were to come up to me and talk to me or be just downright disgusting, I don't know, man. I could see, and I'm a good person.
Yep. I feel you. Trust me, I feel you. There's a lot of things I wanted to sound rumble that I didn't say.
But at the same time,
and retaliation are high on the list.
You know, the things that are holding me back is the stuff where I understand it's better to be peaceful for his family right now, because good God, it's got to be the worst day of their life.
Yeah. Oh, you got to imagine too, all of the axioms that are, or idioms that are running through my head. An eye for an eye. what comes around goes around. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. There's a lot of them out there that talk about retaliation. And there's a reason for that, because we do that.
Yeah, it's very human to want revenge.
Yeah. So I can't say anything more on YouTube, but I almost said a lot of bad things on Rumble that probably would have got us banned off of Rumble. Even for Rumble, which is let you pretty much say anything you want, I think they would have said like, "Well, dude, that was probably a little too far."
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would depend on the context.
I would have surprised you. You would never have thought of it of me, but
maybe.
Yeah. Everybody has a dark side.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Speaking of dark sides, did you see the left's reaction to the murder? Jesus Christ, they were disgusting.
Some of it has been disgusting, but it's generally regular people. When it comes to people who are in high places and celebrities, I haven't seen anything disgusting from them. Even Philly D got on and did a pre-show for his show, which was already taped. And he was very conciliatory. He said, there's no reason for this in our society. He was very much exactly like he should have been. He was not, oh, I'm glad. He's not, he did not do that. And he's not a celebrity. He's just known as an influencer.
Yeah.
But what you do see are regular people doing it.
Oh yeah,
and they're just stupid. So
the media that's doing it is the typical one, and in all honesty, people already hated them anyway.
All the media has been very good though. CNN, MSNBC, AP, Reuters, Times, Post. They've all at least for American media, a
lot of them had to retract prior articles. I'm just saying.
No, but people are pointing out that sure the media is saying all that, but they're not accepting that it's their own rhetoric that created the environment that led to this level of political violence.
They're not taking any responsibility. The only thing I've seen that was outright disgusting was a guy said, well, it could have been one of his fans shooting a gun off in celebration.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I think that was BBC too.
That was MSNBC.
MSNBC?
Okay. Yeah, for us.
Like I'm like that's the one that I saw circling the most, and like that.
You don't hate the media enough. No matter how much you hate them, it's not enough.
You don't. That is a timeless quote by Oren McIntyre, and that is you may think you hate journalists enough, but you don't.
I do agree with you, furry bastard. I don't think Charlie Kirk would want us to retaliate, but I understand why everybody's angry
about him.
And at the same time, though, I think it's more of a fear of being shot at, to be honest, because the Trump rally, it was Trump being shot at. It was Corey in the stands that got hit.
Yeah, he died. Just want to say hi to Six who's in chat. Hey, Six.
Hi, Six.
But yeah, I mean, this is about as bad as you can get next to Trump. I don't think there's anybody. Maybe Vance. Maybe Vance would be as heartfelt, but because he's just also a man of faith with a couple of kids. They're very close. But Charlie was out talking to people in big crowds, talking to young people. He was much more out mingling with the crowd. And maybe that's why JD's still alive, because JD's like, he stays away from that kind of thing. Maybe that's just the deal, is that if you're a conservative now, you're not allowed to talk in public anymore. Sorry, we're going to shoot you. Maybe that's just the way it is now.
Yeah, and you were saying, like, I think Jen was saying Charlie Kirk wouldn't want people to retaliate. He probably wouldn't, but people are people. I think this has raised the stakes considerably. I would not want, but would expect very, very heightened tensions towards the left going forward.
I agree 100%. Charlie would not want that.
No, he wouldn't.
In the same breath, my emotions have nothing to do with Charlie.
True.
So I will do what I think is right, regardless of what he thinks is right.
Absolutely, you should.
So, but I'm not going to do anything.
No. I mean,
just make sure I let YouTube know that. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to be angry, but that's all I'm going to do.
You would be unwise to do anything.
It's all I can do. What am I going to do? Get out of my wheelchair and...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think anybody's going to be scared of me. 62-year-old man with all kinds of illnesses. No one cares about.
Chase people and just say Timmy a lot.
I say Timmy. I am no threat to anybody. Even small children don't laugh anymore now. We're going to do something that seems like completely out of place. We're going to do the music poll.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to spend the first half hour talking about this. And not the last half hour. Well, I'm sure we might still get back into it, but I figured the music poll is a good way to delineate between the two.
Yes.
So go ahead and finish up any conversations or feelings you had about it, and I'll get the poll started here.
What letter are we up to in the poll?
We are at Y. Oh, you know what? I never played music.
You didn't, but I didn't want to bring it up because it seemed like
you should have brought it up. The format still has to happen. All right. Well, maybe after we close the show down on YouTube, I spent time making this. I'm going to fucking play it.
Yeah.
So after YouTube shut down, I'll stop the music on Rumble and I'll play my little 3-minute thing that I spent an hour on.
You could probably play it now. I mean, all that would happen is that the channel would get claimed. No, I don't think it would get a strike. I think
claimed or a strike. I don't know what I would get, but you know what would happen. I get a phone call from Reject. That's what would happen.
Oh, okay.
See, there are powers at play here that I'm much more worried about than YouTube.
So even if it's just a claim, because the claim means they just run ads on it and the money goes to the.
What do you think, Jen? Should I take a chance? I'm half and half on it. You said yes?
Yeah, flip a coin. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that instead of me just running the poll. We'll play the music first, then run the poll.
There you go.
All right. I put it away because I didn't think I was going to be able to do this. So let me find it real quick.
Oh, our minions watching in the chat.
I have too many icons on my desktop, and I'm stupid enough to put that there. Okay, here it is. We are about to get well, we can't get demonetized, but we're going to we're going to get flagged. But here comes the
probably
music.
A copyright claim is my guess.
Copyright claim. Hopefully we don't get a strike, but if we do, fuck it.
Yeah.
Boston, smoking. David Bowie, Modern Love. The Rolling Stones, Jumpin' Jack Flash. ZZ Top, Tush.
I am such a rebel.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's her, but someone whose name greatly resembles Reject has said hi in chat.
Hi, Reject. How are you?
She has heard me from the void. I'm down to, and she caught me red-handed, breaking the rules, and she caught me doing it as I was doing it out of nowhere.
Well, I don't know if it's Reject because like it doesn't have her avatar. It's just a letter R.
Oh, okay, so it's a different.
It might just be someone whose name resembles.
There's Reject, a TNT, REJEK.
Yeah, it could just be like Reject TNT.
And she doesn't have a wrench either, so it's not her.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point.
Anyway, it should make it easier.
She's gonna haunt you for that one later.
These are some of the things we do on Rumble. All you guys on YouTube who don't come to the Rumble, you're missing shit like this.
Exactly, yeah.
So, but at least this will give people a better remembrance of the song. So they're just not looking at a title and trying to remember what the song sounded like. They actually heard it.
Yeah.
So this should be I'm hoping for a really good mix of selections for tonight. It looks like it's going to be because we're already all over the place.
Yeah, yes. We got a pretty decent split.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have.
What? You can't vote?
Oh, no. I could do that. I did that already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Vote early, vote often.
I won't say who has what votes, but
no, don't poison the well.
One option has 4 votes, 2 options have 2 votes, and then 1 option has 1 vote. So it's pretty decently split. There's just one that nobody likes, and one has a slight lead at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we have 14 listening, so get your votes in because every vote counts. I know who I want, but I don't vote unless I have to break the tie.
Yeah.
YouTube won't let me use a metal duck as an emoji reject. No. Sorry. I tried. I even tried for at least a gray duck to indicate it could be metal, and it was like rejected. I didn't even mean to do that.
I should have realized there was no moderator status. There's no wrench.
Okay, we now have 10 votes, and there's like one option has 1 vote, one option has 2 votes, one option has 3 votes, and one option has 4 votes. I think that's
good. Cool.
We can count.
I was hoping for a spread. That sounds like the right one.
Good that we can count, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, it is not going how I thought it would go. But I'm not upset with it either.
No. They're all good songs. I will not be upset with any of these songs winning.
Oh, you like all of them?
Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah. I tried to do something late 70-ish, or at least bands that were around in the late 70s. I mean, there were a lot out there that I didn't choose, like Megadeth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like Megadeth. I think they're really good, but I can understand they're probably not the best for outro music.
No. The great thing about random songs is you don't have to worry about finding 4 that are hits from somebody, you know?
Yeah.
So you could just grab 4 songs, and if there's a song out there by a band that's a little outside of our wheelhouse, if they have 1 hit that was, you know, kind of cross-platform, it could have been rock, could have been death metal, could have been hair metal, you know, a little bit questionable, you can still squeeze them in, you know. I'm sure there are plenty of fans of the other genres out there.
And Wheezy McBlunt says, you know who is underrated? MC5. I've heard one song by them. I can't even remember what the song is, but I know that they were in one of the Guitar Hero games. I'm sure if I look it up, I'll remember the song.
Keep in mind that these songs that I'm selecting for the night are songs that have been on my hard drive forever. You know, I'm still adding to them. There's still newer songs and stuff like that. But, you know, these are the songs that I liked enough to put on my hard drive.
Kick Out the Jams is the one I was thinking of.
I misread your comment, Keeverdam. My brain was like, yeah, no, you wrote steel toe bathtub. I'm like, what is the bathtub for, like, carpentry men or something? Like, you know, is it the construction's bathtub?
I don't understand it.
And Keeverdam says question mark in the Mysterians. I don't think we will be using those.
Well, it's a band. All right. I'm not going to let this run very long. So if you want to get your vote in, we've got 10 with 14 viewing. So we got 4 people who are fucking off.
Yeah.
I might vote anyway. Just for grins.
Yeah.
I never get to vote. Not fair.
Exercise your rights. It's okay. You're allowed.
Yeah. Well, what we were talking about before on Rumble before we got in this was gun stuff.
Yeah.
And we had a lively conversation about that. I don't know if you want to get back on that topic or not.
I mean, like I was saying, I don't really know enough about guns. Like you and Green Badger were talking about, AR-15 versus M16, and I'm entirely unqualified to join that conversation.
Yeah, well, that specific conversation, but you do know a lot about how weapons are handled in Australia that I don't know. Because we basically, as long as you pass the background check, you can have a gun here. So there is very little restriction as long as you pass the background check.
We used to be a bit more open with guns, but there was like the big gun buyback.
Yeah, it was something was some kind of port. You had some kind of gun issue
Port
at
Arthur.
Port Arthur, yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, you guys lost your minds and started taking all the guns back.
Yeah. So Port Arthur was a massacre that happened in, I believe, Tasmania. And in the wake of that, the government said, we're doing basically a recall on guns. You give us your gun, we'll give you some amount of money. I never had a gun, so I can't tell you what they were giving away with the guns. But yeah, a whole bunch of people turned in their guns, and it is now much more difficult to get a license to own a gun. And yeah.
According to an Australian YouTuber, I don't remember who it was. I don't think it was Sydney. I think it was somebody else. But they made the point that, yeah, a lot of people turned their guns in, got money, and then used that money to buy the guns back or buy other guns.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So they were very, it's in my list of videos that I saved, but it's an influencer saying, what you don't realize, people who are not from Australia don't understand is a lot of people bought them back. It really didn't do that much. And if you go out and look at mass shootings in Australia, you've had 6 mass shootings since then.
Yeah. They like to say that there's been no mass shootings since the gun buyback, but I think they just secretly raised the threshold for what constitutes a mass shooting so that nothing would qualify anymore. And it's like, it worked.
Not according to Wikipedia. Wikipedia's thing is 4 or more, including the shooter. So if a shooter shoots 3 people and gets killed himself, that's a mass shooting.
Yeah.
And looking at, if you go to Wikipedia and you look up Australia and you say mass shootings and you scroll down to the bottom, after Port Arthur, there's 6 more listed. So,
okay.
According to that metric, 4.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I think the people that claim that there's been no mass shootings since Port Arthur have raised the standards. It's like,
it has to be 5, and it has to be on a Sunday at nighttime.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to end the poll. You guys got 60 seconds. It's 4:53, 8:53:39.
I think some people ran away to go watch Monkey, which fair enough. But
is he broadcasting?
I'm not sure if he started yet, because he does this thing sometimes where he'll be like 30 minutes from now and then be like, I'm bored from waiting, and then start. So
yeah.
Well, I understand what his stream's probably going to be about.
It's the same topic, but at the same time, though, like I get the feeling this topic is going to be off and on for the next couple days. And we had our little outbursts. It's good to good to take a break from the emotions so you're not retarded at the end of the night.
I think Hammer shouldn't have voted, because now we've got a tie.
I have not actually voted, although I wanted to.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to vote in about 10 seconds.
Ooh. Be really funny if you made it a triple tie.
Is that possible? Could I vote for
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. You better vote on your own, man.
I made my vote, and I'm ending the poll. We got a winner.
Yep. Okay. It worked. Good. No pressure. Didn't want to cheat unintentionally. Sorry. It's like, I don't think I could tell you that.
I've been a Boston fan for a long time. They're not my favorite. Yellow's my favorite, but Boston's a pretty close second.
Cool.
Their initial album was just fantastic.
Yeah, Reject is Reject. I'm just not sure if I can mod her. I want to see if I can.
No, don't do that.
No? Right.
I mean, if it's the real Reject, all she's got to do is message you on Twitter or Discord and say, hey, Reject TNT is me. Can you make me a mod?
Okay.
I've been sitting for too long too. Like I thought I got enough exercise this morning, and then I'm like, have I been slumped? Just like, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you have 3 different countries here with 3 different perspective on guns. So you got one with a, you know, nothing against you, Jen, but you got one with a tyrant who's trying to take all the guns. Nothing against you, Terry, but you have a country that's kind of cowardish with guns. Yeah. Oh, we had a thing. Oh, we must all bend the knee. And then you have America who's like, would you like a gun? Have another gun. Have 3 more guns.
Yeah.
And of course, the UK is like, no guns for anybody ever.
Yeah. So, no, I think America proved itself with Sandy Hook. Like, if you didn't ban guns after Sandy Hook, then obviously you never will. Like, there's nothing. Like, if Sandy Hook wasn't enough, and I don't think you should have banned guns. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if that wasn't enough impetus to get America to ban guns, then nothing will be. And you know, that's kind of, you've proven that you can ignore the I guess the political pressure, because I imagine there would have been a lot of people screaming we need to ban guns after Sandy Hook. So the fact that they didn't get banned after that is like kind of a testament to America's commitment to the Second Amendment.
A lot of people are admiring it more now too, you know, and it really is that thing where it's better to, like, you'd like to have a good relationship with your government, but you can't trust that. So yeah. Doesn't mean you should terrorize them, Terry. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. Green Badger says, how do you buy back something you never owned in the first place? Well, that's a fair point, but they called it a buyback. If you want to call it a confiscation, that's probably more accurate. But
well, you know what, Terry? That just means when it's time for you guys to get serious, you should just make turrets for the emus.
Yeah. Yes, we need to deal with the emu threat once and for all.
Oh, no. You're keeping the emus. You're just putting turrets on them and then letting them loose in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's crowd control for you.
You can't trust an emu any more than you can trust the government. They're both as bad as each other.
No, I think I hear sour grapes here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did lose. So yeah, you can't trust the emus. You can't trust the government. I think the enemy of my enemy is not my friend. It's still an emu. So no alliance with the emus. Not even against the government.
I just like the idea of somebody decking them out in like military gear and then like a backpack.
Yeah.
One of them gets some glasses. You know, that's the cool.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a real war. Like it's called that, but it's just emus were like destroying crops and stuff, and the farmers were not very well equipped to deal with it.
Hey guys, check private chat real quick.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you. Yes, I mean, I don't know. I keep saying this over and over again. I think all Western nations need to have the American Constitution just wrapped around them, because it would be just so much better for everybody.
But I still don't think that'll work, because, like, if you, let's say you put it in England, they're going to say, well, the First Amendment says free speech, but we know that hate speech is obviously an exception to that. Like, obviously, they don't mean you can go and do hate speech. So let's just make a rule that hate speech isn't really free speech.
You can't make that rule, because the First Amendment says you cannot make that rule. No,
but they'll just interpret it so that they can.
That's just saying make the rule. Just interpret, just another way of saying make the rule. You can't make the rule. So that's
of course you can. Like, what's going to stop them?
The First Amendment.
What's going to stop them?
First Amendment.
No, but if they're saying, well, the First Amendment actually doesn't cover that, so what? What happens then?
But it clearly does.
But
actually, it's the Second Amendment, not the First. But yes.
No. If they say that it doesn't cover hate speech, what happens then? It's like they're the ones enforcing the rules. If they say,
right. But it's not a rule. This is a constitutional. The Constitution is above the rules. It's above the law. It's above everything. It's basically the word of God. You can't go against it.
If the people enforcing it don't, then it doesn't mean anything. If you can have this pretty little constitution, and the people in power say, well, yeah, but that doesn't really apply in this case, then you're fucked. It doesn't do anything unless the people actually enforce it. And if they genuinely believe that hate speech is bad and wrong and no good, then they'll say, well, obviously that's not free speech.
Maybe it's stupid. Maybe it's because America is such a litigious country. Because if you do something that is unconstitutional, someone's going to sue you. Someone somewhere will sue you.
Yeah.
And they'll take it all the way up to the Supreme Court. Unless the Supreme Court is corrupt. Well, yeah, I mean, if you say everybody is corrupt everywhere, of course it's not going to work.
No, it's not even corruption. It's just different values. If you take it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court is like, well, yeah, but no, this is clearly hate speech.
Yeah, that would be corruption. I mean, at least from the American perspective, if anybody in our government did that, they would be considered corrupt.
Yeah, but that's because you're looking at it with American values. If you take the American Constitution in a country that doesn't value free speech the way America does, they will not enforce it the way America does. They will not care.
You would have to have a lot of corruption to do that. You would have to have leaders who would not follow the Constitution. Then you'd have to have justices who don't follow the Constitution. If you make everybody not follow it, then you're right.
No, but it's not even that. They'll technically not follow it, but they won't even think that they're not following it. They're like, well, obviously when they said this, they didn't mean hate speech. Like, that's obviously.
Right. And that's interpretation, but it's still a fact of the matter that they won't follow it, regardless of why they won't follow it.
Yeah.
Whether they don't like it, they don't think it applies, whatever reason you want to give to not follow it, you're still not following it, and that's still corruption.
No. Well, I mean, but they won't see it that way. Like, even the people.
It doesn't really matter.
It, that way.
It doesn't matter if they don't see it that way, but that's what it will be.
No, but okay, even if you say it is corruption, if the people don't see it that way, if the people agree that hate speech isn't free speech, then you can take it to the Supreme Court all you want. They're gonna be like, well, yeah, obviously hate speech isn't covered by that. That's hate speech.
Right,
that's horrible.
Right. The point being here is that regardless of how you justify morally, whether you're going to follow it or not, whether you could say it's a Wednesday and we don't follow it on Wednesday, or we don't like hate speech because we like hate speech. That's okay. We hate hate speech because all of those moral judgments that you're making from a perspective of this is what it says, this is what you must do. That's corruption.
But all I'm saying is, like, you would have to import American values to the country.
Would we?
To have it. Yeah.
You don't think that the values of most Western countries follow America pretty close?
Well, like the example that I always give is Saudi Arabia can ban alcohol because the people genuinely believe that drinking alcohol is against the Quran.
Correct.
You saw what happened when they tried to ban alcohol in America. It didn't go nearly as well.
No, it did not.
Because people wouldn't enforce the rules because they didn't believe in the rules.
Well, they can still ban alcohol today if you want to. And there are some cities where it's highly regulated, just like guns.
Yeah.
So you can still do that, but you can't just ban it across the country because the Constitution is not going to allow that.
No, but the reason that it doesn't work is that the people don't believe that should be the case. You can't say that.
But there's nothing in the Constitution about alcohol.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if people don't believe that the rules are important or that they are.
I agree with you. That is corruption.
But
if you don't just believe what's right there in black and white, do not do this. Do not infringe on the Second Amendment. Do not do it. If they don't believe in what's really clearly written, then that is corruption. I can't think of anything else to call it.
No, but fine. Even if you call it corruption, it doesn't change the fact that if they don't believe in the rule, they won't enforce it. If you make it illegal to go shopping on Wednesdays,
well, you really need to say that they don't believe in the Constitution, not the rules or the laws. They would have to not believe in the Constitution for your point to be valid.
Yeah, but they don't. That's my point. If you took the American Constitution...
We don't really know that because no one else has our Constitution.
No, if you took the American Constitution and just transplanted it into England, they'd be like, well, okay, technically it says this, but obviously this kind of gun isn't covered by the Second Amendment. This one probably isn't either. And in like 10 years, they've banned all the guns again anyway. If you put the First Amendment, they say,
awful big assumption.
Well, but like if they don't believe that these rules are correct,
you have to understand that Europe is not Dubai. They don't have a completely different set of moral.
No, but like, okay, look, the one
there are a couple of leaders out there who are having it their way for now. But if you were to say, look, we have something that works here really well. You're in the West like we're in the West. And not only that, but besides just saying, here, this is better, and selling it that way, it's very easy to say, here, if you want to remain our friend, you might want to look at this. So
America can like use military force too.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say exert political pressure. I wouldn't say military force.
But like, the example that V often gives is in Romania, no one enforced the COVID laws. Like technically, it was illegal to you had to show ID and get your QR codes again. But because the people enforcing it didn't give a fuck, because this was an EU rule, not a Romanian rule, no one in Romania gave a fuck, so they didn't actually require it. Like one QR code was used by 60 people because the people didn't believe in the law. So even the people enforcing the law didn't believe in the law. So it may as well have not been the law.
Yeah, Reject says, Hammer, the UK is banning knives. Yeah, they tried banning guns. That didn't work. So they decided banning knives and see if that would work, especially machetes, but only certain machetes. Now they're banning screwdrivers.
Yeah.
They haven't learned because the people in the UK are dumb.
The thing. No, but that's my point is if you transplant the American Second Amendment to England, the country that thinks screwdrivers are violent weapons that need to be banned, how do you think they're going to suddenly just go, oh, well, I guess we legalize everything again? No, of course not. They don't believe these things should be legal. They won't enforce the law.
At least their leaders don't. But I think that the people would follow if a case was made for it, because the West is still the West. Even though the UK has turned towards the dark side, and there's no two ways of saying that except that they have. I mean, if you can be arrested for calling somebody a Muppet, it's clear the UK has turned the wrong direction here.
Yeah.
Australia is still pretty straight, and regardless of Trudeau, I don't see Canada as a lost cause either. But the UK, do you think that if they were to bring the First Amendment to Australia, that it would be rejected as a hand?
No, I think because coming out against free speech always looks really bad. I think we would end up with a far more restricted version of it. In the same way that that's hate speech. That's obviously not covered. I think you'd
have to create a law that says hate speech is not against free speech. But then the Constitution says you can't make a law to say that.
Yeah.
So you have to decide whether or not you're going to follow the Constitution, which says you can't do that, or you're just going to ignore the Constitution, do whatever the fuck you want. In that case, you don't even give them don't even worry about the Constitution. It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah. No, I think if you implemented the First Amendment or like whatever equivalent here, it would probably broaden our free speech, but the government would still restrict it. They'd still be like, yeah, but you can't say that. Obviously, you can't.
As long as they have the courts behind them, and I guess you guys don't have a Congress, you have a Parliament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so do you, Jen, right? You have a Parliament too?
Yeah.
I mean, functionally they work the same way. You have Lords and Commons, right? In the UK, Lords and Commons, right? That's basically...
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still somebody on one side and somebody on the other, which sounds just like our Republicans and Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether it's our Constitution says Congress shall make no law, breaching the freedom of speech, and you would have to modify to say Parliament can make no law.
I mean,
so the semantics are a little different, but I don't know. I don't want to give up.
I wouldn't anyway. Like, if you really want to know, like, things that are probably going on up here, there's a contrast between Alberta and Saskatchewan and obviously Ontario, like at least Ottawa. I'm not going to classify all of Ontario because there's quite a number of conservatives there. They're just overwhelmed by their cities, just like everywhere else in the Western world. But if you look at Alberta, like we are getting to the point where we are going to clean house all the way down to the public service. We are so done with these people that if that's what it takes to vote all of them out and kick them out.
Mm-hmm.
At best, a lot of us are looking at the UK because a lot of what we saw in the UK, we're threatened by similar things because they're following the same page book. The UK is about to blow up.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a ticking time bomb. It's a matter of time. Something's going to happen. We are watching that, but it's not like we're entirely in the same position. Alberta's willing to cheat. Like if to get away from these stupid motherfuckers, we don't want to sell ourselves to America. But when you're desperate and you're screwed regardless of where you look, and the only partner you have is, well, like, you guys are still our partners. Okay, well, I guess we'll
51.
We
gotta get out of here. It's 2 minutes after 10. A spirited conversation. I love a spirited conversation.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun.
Hey, Satsu's on Monkey Stream. I wish we knew.
Yeah, everybody go over there after I close the show out here. You can close the show out.
Yeah, that cheers me up. They're talking about something serious, and it cheers me up that Satsu's there.
Fair enough.
Well, you gotta understand, Terry, and I'm doing this right now because I'm that gal. But the last time I talked to Satsu,
guess who's here? My delivery.
Oh, there it is.
Well, I'm just letting you know, Satsu's little girl tried to sell me his spices, and I'm so proud of her. It was so cute. She was like, Jen, you should buy some of Dad's spices. I'm like, oh my goodness, I would.
Marketing genius.
Yep.
Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. I can't wait for next Wednesday's show. Remember, the Minions are live every evening except for Thursday. Those shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Post and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about our Ripple stream. We do that about a half an hour before YouTube, where we say things that we're not allowed to say here. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.